on one side for TNC. On the side of Team Liquid, we have that Sand King pickup.
So it's okay, they can hear us now.
At least there's no silencer still. The memes.
Soon, maybe soon.
Maybe soon, indeed. The Ancient Apparition picked up this early on, though. It's very interesting. He did get buffed a bit. Well, not a bit. I think that's a major buff for AA, what happened in that last patch. Basically, they allowed AA... Once you get that level 6, which if you're a support comes around minute 10, let's say 9 to 12, you can use your initiating tools to dive someone on the tower, which makes it a lot easier to utilize that Frost Blast. But at the same time, you are letting them take that Lycan again, and AA isn't really that great versus Lycan, as Lycan can just run circles around him, just send his creeps on the AA. That's usually enough to take him down.
Yes, Ancient Apparition and Rubik both extremely squishy, extremely susceptible to these two heroes on the side of Liquid that are infamous for stabbing at the back line and quickly just making someone disappear from the fight. And this makes me wonder, what is your plan for TNC? Because you're not going to have what has become almost standard, which is this pulse 4 that bulks up and is able to frontline alongside.
You need something to work alongside of this Ancient Apparition. You need some hero that's really good with him. Some setup as a core. What comes to my mind is Void. We haven't seen Void in such a long time. Maybe Void plus Ancient Apparition versus that Lycan wouldn't be that bad. Something similar, that Sven would be really good as well, but Team Liquid have banned it out, as it's one of the heroes that clears those pesky little wolves and necros of Lycan, and also just is very strong. Lycan can almost never man-fight him. Also has a stun to set up with Ancient in the lane.
10 seconds remaining.
And go that route. So I'm trying to think, if you go for like the Void here, no, you're worried about a Sand King bombing your own chrono, right?
Some sort of setup, that's what you need.
Yeah, because it's like Void in theory should be good, right? Like there's not a threat of a stolen chrono being used against your team. You've got the nice Ice Blast set up, but it's like there's always that threat of Sand King just going, hey,
Void is pretty much dead right now. It was just an example.
Yeah,
so let's...
I'm trying to figure a way that Void could be relevant, because he is a hero. You're right. He's completely dead. He's completely a miss from competitive play right now.
Right now on the offlane, if you are TNC, you can be thinking about, well, a hero that they do love playing is Elder Titan. Wouldn't be that bad versus Lycan. It's all right when it comes to just stopping his pushes, but overall it can be problematic as he's very fast. Some Beastmaster, some setup for the AA is necessary. Rubik alone is not enough. They ban out the Oracle, all right?
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
And they go for the bet. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but Abaddon is still in the pool.
Yep.
And now if you're Team Liquid, I
cut and dry, rinse, repeat.
I think you just go and do the same thing again.
No reason not to. Served a beautiful purpose last game.
Yeah, but this is a good setup that I was talking about. You get that Vet Rider with the lasso. You jump in, you lasso someone, you don't have to move them away. You just keep them in spot for that Frost Blast to get there. And then you have a much easier time taking that target down. So, yeah, I like the Vet Rider pickup. But, again, it's only the Oracle that's banned out. There is still the Abaddon in the pool. They can pick it up.
Probably what they're discussing right now. Do we pick it up?
I mean, they had the exact same lineup in that last game versus the Bat Rider.
Yeah.
And it worked out for them. This time around, there's Ancient and Rubik versus you. And I don't see how that changes things a lot for Team Liquid. At least not when it comes to the Abaddon pick. Ancient Apparition, alright, it prevents you from healing a bit with the Mist Coil. But as an Abaddon, you're not really worried about that.
Man could still look towards a Broodmother at this rate. If this continued this pattern, as it currently is going, Liquid are in a state where they could almost just draft the exact same lineup as last game. It's actually, well, looks like they're aiming into all that reserve time.
Broodmother is also really good here versus Rubik versus Ancient Apparition versus Bat. It's completely fine, just like in that last game. But like Broodmother has been banned out, so we're not.
Oh, you're right.
Stop debating.
Well, we get a different bug though.
We get a different bug, but we get a bug that's also really good versus Bat. Exactly, with Spiked Carapace. Whenever he jumps in with the Firefly, you can just run into it with that Spiked Carapace and stop him from doing anything. Troll Warlord, always used to be, always was and will be a good hero versus Lycan. Stop his little minions from attacking you with his rolling axes.
And you man fire Lycan. Lycan, of course, very powerful punch, but slow attack speed, while Troll can just trap you in place and burn.
Yeah, Troll is just better at that aspect, so makes a lot of sense to pick him up.
At the same time, another hero Nyx does decently against in the early phases. You know, Spike Carapace, when you get those axes whirling around you,
TNC
it can ruin Troll's form of initiation. And the Omni Knight.
Here we go. We have an Omni Knight plus Lycan, a strength hero coupled with Omni Knight's second spell is really strong. Divine
Plus
Favor.
Sand King as well on the
Plus
lane.
Sand King.
Because you have some flexibility here. Like, I expect it to probably at this rate be, I want to say Omni Knight plus Sand King, but like that means you're gonna have one either Nyx or Sand King as a +5. Are they maybe looking to run?
5 seconds remaining.
Now this is the problem with Liquid. It
No,
could be
this what you're saying makes a lot of sense. This could also be that Omni Knight mid.
Yeah.
You put that Omni Knight mid and like Fata did recently,
was
and
the
then,
other
yeah, and then you just run across the map. You dominate everyone as you're so strong. And it's not a bad Omni Knight mid game, as that Purification versus Ancient and Rubik can be very problematic for them to deal with. You just run into their face, hack like 50% of their HP with one little Purify. So
there's a lot of flexibility when Team Liquid's line. I have to imagine TNC are in a similar scenario to what we are now doing, seeing it going, this might be mid, but it could actually be off lane.
yeah, like you can't really say for sure because they have these three very flexible heroes.
And the players are incredibly flexible.
Exactly.
Like, Miracle's played Nyx Assassin as a core before. Arguably, Nyx hasn't gotten worse since when he done that.
Yeah. Well, he did get nerfed a little bit.
A tiny bit, but compared to, like, he went up, right? He got buffed up after that point and then brought down a little bit again.
They ban out the OD.
Where are they looking?
10 seconds
Get rid of the
remaining.
OD here. Maybe they're looking towards something like, I don't want to say an Ember because that would be bad against Nyx, but something that gives that sort of ramp up in the
They
mid.
ban out the Kunkka as well. Are they picking? I mean, Brood right here. You could just put Troll versus her, and already it's not that like good of a pick. That Kunkka is also good versus Lycan, so maybe that's the reason why they banned it. But in that last game, it made a lot of sense. Actually, coming back to that Brood has been banned. Remember that.
Yes.
For the remainder of this draft, Brood is banned in the first phase. We're not going to see Brood.
It's because it keeps echoing in our mind that the first game. We don't get to see Broods often. We'd love to see them again, but we love to see this too. Miracle Invoker. A treat.
Definitely. Definitely a treat for our sore eyes. We're going to see an Invoker and a Lycan. Alright, so that leaves, I believe, Nyx and Sand King as supports, but you can't really say for sure. It's very difficult.
Yeah, you know, Omni Knight has a history of being a support. Unlikely to see that occur this time around.
Maybe
it's an Invoker support.
Maybe it's the Omni Knight support with maxed out second spell. It's possible. Not really the fan of that. You can't really do a whole lot. There's a position 5 perhaps, but
I think you just run the Nyx as a 5 and Sand King as a 4. Because Sand King plus Omni Knight is pretty potent, right? Because you Burrow Strike instantly into a Purification.
You want that lane. Optimally, that's the lane that you want to have on your side. You want to have that Sand King plus the Omni Knight, and then Nyx and Lycan. Yeah, it makes some sense. But this Nyx and Lycan lane, I'm worried for them. It doesn't really look that great. And then you're going to have Batrider plus say Rubik. I believe that lane is much stronger than Lycan plus Nyx, at least until the night. And when Lycan gets his Dominator, then it becomes a little bit harder to zone him out.
Your hero.
They have no catch. Perfect pick.
Really
I mean, you could go for the Quas Wax with Miracle, with the Invoker, and then you have Nyx Assassin with Mana Burn, which is alright. But overall, you don't really have a ton of catch for that Storm Spirit until you get the Blink Dagger on Sand King.
Yes. Now, there is another solution. If Nyx has a great start to this game, we've seen what that can do to Storm Spirits. If you get like a quick 6, and you know Storm's going to fall back to the jungle to farm, you just keep hunting it constantly. And that has been the bane of certain Storm Spirit players' existences in the past few months. We're getting to Man and Lycan, Miracle Invoke as expected. We're still curious to see what Liquid are about to do with the shuffle of these 3 heroes. We think we figured it out. We think it's likely going to be an Omni Knight core,
5 seconds
but they're teasing us. You got 5 seconds.
Uro, Sand King, position
There
5.
it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so it's going to be Nyx Assassin and Mind Control on that dual offlane. You talked about Sand King and the Impale. Well, there's also Nyx and the Impale. Burrow Strike and Impale, that is. And
I guess the difference is one is like you can definitely get the Purification bomb, right?
And
But-
GH loves playing.
Exactly, that's the other thing. POS 4s are the ones that have been practicing and playing the Nyx thoroughly over and over again recently.
No, position 5-7 definitely played a lot of Sand King recently. It's not really the greatest.
That's true,
hero.
but the Nyx is like, it's become this kind of staple thing in the last few months, right? The 2-3-man Impale, despite carapaces.
I think they have something planned. Really, they need to have something
Yes.
planned, something different, because these two supports are not really the supports that we usually see played by any team, yet alone Team Liquid. Having Sand King and Nyx, I don't know. They want an Arachnid and a Bug, I guess, and that's it. I don't know what else it could be.
Well, they couldn't get the Broodmother. Remember, that was banned in the first phase.
So they got the two different bugs instead.
Yeah, they make up the insect quarter in different ways. And I guess the interesting to think about is maybe when you pick this Nyx, you want him to then get 6 and just rotate around the map, be ganking. The role of a POS 5 becomes a bodyguard role as you go in the game. And I guess you could argue Sand King
Is a bad guy doing that.
Well, he can borrow strike, but the thing is, like, as a
borrow
Nyx,
strike.
you want to be looking to snipe the core. You want to be deep across their side of the map, right?
Yes, that's true, but the laning stage is what bothers me, as we're going to have a Nyx Assassin and Sand King supports. The laning stage might go very poorly for Liquid. You'll see. And I mean, in their last series as well, the first game they dominated, they looked super strong and hard, and then in the second game they just got crushed with a draft that they, well, didn't really think through, most likely.
Just wondering if they're going to start. Maybe you start with like 3 heroes up top, get a quick kill before they rotate.
Yeah, a
down.
couple of stuns are there. It's possible, but maybe a Sunstrike on Miracle. You can see that he's already skilled into Exort, so it's doable, definitely.
Especially against a hero like Batrider, because you know he's going to love that sticky napalm. He already has done that, in fact, on Cuckoo. Just something you can probably quite easily punish.
30 seconds to battle.
They tried to scout the Sunstrike. They didn't get any info on that. Bot lane, there are 3 heroes from TNC lingering about. That threat does go both ways. You have got a lift. You have got potentially the cold feet, which, yeah, has been leveled as well.
Lift, cold feet, and the slows. Yeah, definitely they can take down mind control. He has to be careful. He's not the fastest hero in the game. Cuckoo as well on that top lane just realizes the threat, moves back, but the wolves are blocking him.
They are. And they get this
can
good,
get
they can. Gonna be impaled. They'll move across the rune. The bar strike as well, and Cuckoo has to run back the wrong way. Maybe the long way back to his lane. The bar strike will go down the impale soon as well. Cuckoo, I don't know.
Should be fine, I believe. He has a lot of sticks and in napalms, yeah, and fairy fire too to work with. And yeah.
Just pretend that didn't happen, GH says, as he turns around and moves away with 4 sticky napalm stacks.
I mean,
the trade
Kuro has to be careful. He's going to
started
lose
really
a lot of
hard.
HP, yeah. But Cuckoo, he realizes the way GH moved there into the pit prevents Cuckoo from continuing that pursuit on Kuroki.
More bot cold feet. Just a preview as to how easily they can just grab a hold of mind control.
It's very important how you fall back as a team. I always stress that to my teammates. It's very important to how you run back. If you just run for your lives, one of you is going to die. If you run properly, strategically, as GH did there, even though he has 5 sticky napalms on himself, he just runs into the pit, preventing Cuckoo from continuing that chase onto the Sand King. It's super important stuff.
It's covering fire, although there's no bullet being thrown out.
Exactly.
It's
Covering
that.
fire is the best way to call it, yeah. I believe Batrider is going to try and creep skip here, but
They're circling around him.
they're circling, and with this tower hitting
Yeah, the
him,
tower, he's stuck under the tower as well. The first block will be drawn. Kuroki gets it. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, mind control will be punished as well. He's out of regen and out of life.
They get mind control, yeah. Offlaner is dying as they're left alone. Batrider is just... He shouldn't have ran into that tower, flew into that tower so close.
One choice being made by Cuckoo, but mirrored by mind control's decision to try and just stack that wave.
Well, the thing is, I believe Batrider has an easier time to just come back.
Yes.
Once he gets
Not
that
if he
level
dies
two.
like this.
If he dies again like this, though, yeah.
He's dead. Like, he's very far enough. He's trying to move away, but the damage is already done. They'll move forward.
Has
More he'll
salve
do
very
it.
quick. Oh, one more hit.
There's no way you salve though. It's a waste. Goes down, and also he TP'd out, so he's got a walk of shame ahead of him. Look at the other side of the map. Let's see if mind control makes the same mistake.
Exactly. Now we have to look at mind control. Are they going to be able to kill him? the same way twice in a row now.
This is this game at the moment. This early game is being defined by the mistakes of offlaners.
Well, it's not truly mistakes of offlaners.
The forced errors.
Forced errors. It's the fact that they're playing versus tri-lanes. It's not something that they're used to, as the era of constant tri-lanes versus one single offlaner is long past.
But the big surprise is actually you kind of expect the Batrider to have a slightly easier time, right? Because the thing is, he's less pressed to get XP. Omni Knight has always been defined as this very greedy hero when it comes to XP.
He's trying his best though. He just moved into this small camp where they're pulling to try and snatch some experience away. And he's getting that level 2 very soon. He needs one more creep to die in his range.
He's turned Oliver to over here. Please, sir. Some more.
Just finish it, but the heal... There we go.
Meanwhile, mid, we haven't talked about that just yet. Slight advantage for Armel so far for these first few waves. And it looks like it is going to be Exhort and Quads to the focus for Miracle in this lane.
Doing fairly well right now. 15 CS for him, 15 for Armel. There is a room sitting in, but there's not a whole lot he can do from this distance. Miracle.
Takes a lot of damage. Very fast just to be safe. Turns around the close map. Armel back off here. Rubik's there to protect. Gonna get ready to sunstrike this, but Armel salves up.
Top lane Kuro got really low as EU rotated in to help out Cuckoo.
They're bringing Rubik up here as well, so it might just turn into a try and try. Which leaves a Troll level 4 against a level 2 Omni Knight here. Definitely favorable for TNC.
Yeah, definitely favorable for the Troll if he manages to fight the Omni Knight, but Omni Knight is just running back and the creep skipping. EU manages to survive as he has boots already.
Pretty aggressive here. Needs to respect the fact they do have stuns available. 2 of them, in fact, inside Liquid. Tim's with the boots can just poke his head out, harass, and play a little bit more aggressively positioned. Cuckoo.
There we go, the first stun.
Uh-oh. Firefly's down. Stands a fight. Impale is fluffed. Doesn't connect. Mathu has 5 stacks on him. Going to be chased onto right now and slowed down. While these two chill and touch. Cuckoo will just go up top while Matsu hides and salves up here. They try and chase through. They'll cancel out. GH is going to fall in the Firefly. And they might fight Matsu as well. Cuckoo's still alive. Oh no! They almost got him. The Wolf will finish the job. They find someone in return. And it looks like the heroic Wolf rather won't run away alive.
He dies, and now it's time for bounties. I believe EU is going to be the fastest one.
Gabby will get both bounties, but EU will get them top with the assistance of Cuckoo. So TNC get them all.
Yeah, they're doing really well right now.
Stuns. Yeah. Oops. In trouble. Throws out the Fade Ball. Kuroki's too low to pursue this. GH now needs to be careful. He knows this experience all too well. They're going to chase forward. Cold Feet's there, slowing him down with the chilling touch long enough to get on top with the Firefly. And even the Fairy Fire won't save his life.
And some sticks.
Stun. No, GH.
Yeah, those sticks just saved his life, and the stun was on point too. Just when you think he's dead, he uses that stick properly in the last given moment, and then he survives because of the impale, obviously. Really well played by him.
And then Kuroki being cheeky, he was looking around the back to try and snipe Tims out as he retreated, but Tims is here with EU. They'll just use the shrine. Kuroki just backs away.
Now he has to run. Yeah.
And it should be pointed out, GH went for that point in mana burn. Every fight we've seen, if you imagine it with a Spike Carapace, you could see how different those fights would have been.
It would have definitely helped him, yeah. Because of the bat, because of the Firefly.
Instead, he puts a second point in the pale.
It's very interesting, as usually when you're playing Vix Assassin, you don't even want that mana burn early on.
It doesn't tend to give returns. Left automatic, bringing him back to the Cold Feet active. And he's dead. A little bit of fire, a little bit of ice. That's about as stale of an ending for Matu as it was for the Game of Thrones series. Moving through, now the Sunstrike coming in. They already got the kill in the back right if they can't find more. Kuro has to actually pick up here as the Cold Feet is on him. Yeah. He'll just chill for a bit. Bot lane, mind control. If he gets rid once more, Gabby moving in, can't pursue further. Eats a mango as well. Like
top lane, GH.
Push out with axes again, top. Tims is down. A lot of aggression. Kuroki next on the hit list. Cuckoo pursuing through, but GH will scare him away.
He didn't have any mana or a cooldown to work with, but still, Cuckoo does not pursue. He doesn't go for that kill.
He weighs up the risks versus the rewards and decides it's not worth it.
What I noticed is... Oh, store.
He's just farming.
What I noticed is that TNC is really good at making these stacks. I didn't see a lot of teams doing that, actually. And in the first game, they made a lot of stacks. In the second game as well, they're working on that.
Yeah, definitely.
There aren't many teams that
It's become a rarity.
Exactly, it's very rare.
Sometimes make the difference, though. I guess there's the argument with the early aggression and the movement to destroy the tier 1 mid and move it jungle. It can be risky.
We're going to see one Miracle.
We're lining in, looking on the Miracle. He's going to get invis, try and move away quick enough. GH here is to cover him, but the problem is the cold feet has procced. Stun comes out, the Storm Spirit. Miracle backing off still, but in range of the sentry long enough that he should be dead. But no, the Tornado comes out, Miracle. Now the Definite Blast, moving in armor. The final hit is enough.
He gets him.
Just about. Rotation on point here, and this is probably why the stacks aren't done as much. Kuroki's identified that.
He just found them and stole them, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
He steals the double stack, the hard camp, the medium one, the triple one. Still isn't taken at least.
Mud Golem's there, it's a little bit more frustrating.
Exactly.
And the
EO is going to see that his stacks and his efforts have been ruined by Kuroki. Not going to be very happy about that.
Kuroki says, ooh. XP.
Oh, there's a Lycan coming in as well.
That's it. Power Strike across. Kuroki get caught by the Vortex now. Matu moving in. He's actually pursuing onto the supports. Doesn't care about Armal right now. Sandstorm will protect the captain of Liquid. But turn around with the net on the Rubik. Lift lasts a little bit, but not long enough. They'll just start diving the tower. Tim should fall here. Power Strike out. Sunstrike as well. The follow-up impale's good enough. Matu turns around at the right moment to get the more valuable kill. And they still managed to find Tim's on the side.
Yeah, Armal falling there to the Sunstrike of Miracle is huge as he gets on board as well, gets him closer towards that Midas.
Kuroki's still here. He wants the XP. They're going to probably give it to him. They're pulling it out to try and get him out of range. GH has joined in as well. It's like, what? 3 levels?
They didn't even have detection there to work with. Now that the AA is around, they do have some sentries, but that's it.
GH, Spike Carapace should cover his escape. Storm Spirit's too far away. Level 1 Ball Lightning is a pathetic sight in most occasions. All in all, Troll continuing to farm pretty damn well in this bot lane. Mind Control has been like a creep in this.
It's really interesting that he didn't manage to get more, considering that he could just go and creep skip and pull. Instead, he tried to fight the Troll a couple of times, almost died. But yeah, Gabi, he's playing the Troll, and Troll, when you give him a little bit of advantage, like, well, he had 3 levels ahead of Omni Knight when they left. He also had Phase Boots, so it's very difficult for Omni Knight to do a whole lot there. But yeah, creep skipping would definitely be the proper move for Mind Control.
And instead, he continues to suffer.
Bounty?
Gabi didn't get it, actually. GH picked it up. He might give his life, though. The Spike Carapace isn't protecting him. Range for Gabi. GH doesn't have an impale for 4 seconds. But
Mind Control
he's
actually...
tanky enough, actually. With the Heavenly Grace, he'll be fine.
Yeah, but look at the skill build from Mind Control. He actually has no levels of purification. That's something you never see on Omni Knights. Well, now that this hero is a little bit different, and Heavenly's Grace is definitely good, you can max it out. I'm just surprised that he didn't max out first and second instead of second and third.
Yes, and oh, Cuckoo
fault because there was a Dark Troll Summoner.
And a Shapeshift. And now Tier 1 tower will fall to Matu. That's what we like to see out of the Lycans.
He used his ulti to get a kill. Killing spree that is, and also a tower. Very well used.
And it's a good thing to highlight what Mind Control is doing here, because the other thing is what we see next. Do we see him? There it is. I was about to say, typically we don't see more than 2 points to the Degenerer. That's like the cap-off point for almost every Omni Knight player. And he sticks to that. He's started all the purification now.
We see a smoke action coming from TNC. Perhaps they want to kill this Invoker on the mid lane. They can't find really anyone else, and Invoker just killing him before the Midas is there. Well, the Midas has been there for a while now, but even with it, slowing him down would be good.
They will find Kuro, but they were actually looking to find a Lycan. We're going to move him, the Sandstorm, protecting Kuro, because they were indeed looking for Lycan. They did not bring any detection. They did not expect to find a Sankey. And now Sank will turn around the stun. There's going to be Sunstrike coming in. It's good enough to bring him down. GH on point. Ice Blast coming in. Going to be sized up by everyone, though, except Kuroki walks in at the last moment. Ball line of 4 will get that kill at least. Armal running out of mana, though. There's a response incoming. Miracle's now here. TP away by Armal. Miracle. Tornado isn't long enough.
Yeah, it's just too short. By the time he invoked it as well, Storm was out. They do take down that troll. They only lose the Sand King and the stacks. If you're Liquid, you're super happy with that. That Sand King is your position 5. It's not some offlane Sand King too. So trading position 1 for the Sand King and also just losing the stacks, you're fine.
Absolutely. And Omni Knight will now head towards top, hoping to find a little bit of space,
Bottom
a little
lane,
bit of gold.
Cuckoo getting so low. He should be fine this time
He's
around.
maxed out Firefly. He should be able to get away from now.
He has Tims as well by his side. So.
And there's always the Lumen threat of Alasu. So Matsu has to be a little bit more contained, a little bit more composed. Mind control now up to level 7. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to do it. We see, usually what will happen is we see Omni Knights wait until they can put 2 points in a row into Guardian Angel. Because there's so much value in these other spells, and it's such a huge cooldown if you have to use the GA early. The Wild Invoker in the mid lane has got his minus, heading towards the Ags. He's
just
sitting
farming.
top of net worth.
Yeah, they aren't really contesting him whatsoever. At the same time, the counterpart of his, Armel, is trying to farm in the jungle as much as possible. Not really moving away from it, getting closer and closer to that Kaya.
And just as importantly, that level 2 ball lightning, that's when he can really start to pop off and make some plays around the map. Gabby creating a little bit of space in the top, taking this tier 1 down, heading towards the defusal next after picking up the Yasha. Problem is, every time he does a push, look who's doing it elsewhere. Matsu already takes out that tier 1 tower bot. Gabby.
Well, he's keeping up the pressure at least, so if they are taking the tier 1, he is it too. So.
Yeah, they should send someone back to stop this push. They don't want to give over a tier 2 to a Lycan, and if they leave him here for 20-30 seconds, that'll happen.
You know that position 5 we were talking about, Kuroki on his Sand King? He has a Blink Dagger.
Holy Mary, mother of mackerel. Where did he got up with the stacks? The stacks from TNC, I guess. Matsu. And his shape-shift epicenter goes in with that Blink Dagger. Perfectly done. They punish the Storm, moving in for more. Into the Stolen Burrow Strike, out to Lycan. Lasso as well. Doggy's on a leash. Can they bring him down? They'll get him low and kill him off just before Tim's dies.
With that A ulti, definitely. And now, Kuro has a Blink though. They didn't attack him, and he's
look mid. They're getting value where they can. 2 cores in the lane trying to push on this tier 1. That was a lot of TPs by TNC towards the bot lane.
Yeah, everyone went towards that bottom lane from the side of TNC, and because of that, Invoker and Omni Knight, they just pressure the mid. They don't take it down, but they get the tower very low. So next time something that similar happens, that tower is falling for sure. Overall, Liquid, strategically, they're one step ahead of these teams. Every single team that we've seen them play so far just has a hard time contesting them when it comes to just taking objectives and choosing which objective is taken when.
Yeah, the thing that Liquid does very well as a team is they look at the way the dynamic of the end is going, and they say, we're going to force you to make a choice right now. And you better make it quick, because if you don't, we'll just get a better trade, and you're just looking decisive. And that's what they're trying to do to TNC right now, is force them a scenario where they don't feel ready to fight in. And for good reason, right? Kuki didn't have a great start to his lane. Armel hasn't got that level 2 ball line in still. It's hard for them to get in and initiate. Kuro just showing us how he gets all this gold.
Yeah, he's been farming for quite a long time. Stealing those stacks, farming across the map. He also had a decent start, so I'm not really surprised he has that Blink Dagger. It's just that he's position 5 and that he's been given so much space to farm it.
They needed someone to step up because Mind Control had been punished incredibly hard. Going towards a Glimmer, I'm pretty sure they just switched roles.
They switched roles. Mind Control is the true position 5 this game. Is that it?
It looks like he's got Arcane Boots in the Glimmer Cape here as the
It definitely does look more like a position 5 than your casual offlane Omni Knight with a Midas going into Radiance or something like that. Glimmer Cape is going to help them versus the Storm jumping on them, also versus the Bat and AA.
And now TNC will try to just move top here. They had some wards down from when they were last in this jungle. They want to try and apply pressure to tier 2 for someone to respond, but Mind Control is already on standby. And look at the move from Lycan. Matsu is getting ready to go in the bot lane. He has a DD. They show themselves top. Intentions very clear. They want this tier 2 off the map.
Yeah, they might take this tier 2, but at the same time, I believe their tier 1 on the mid lane is falling definitely.
100% definitely gone. And now they're TPing in the supports. TNC want to do something.
Who else are they going to take down with this tier 1?
Yeah, GH is scouting. He sees them, but he doesn't go deeper. He's reluctant, just in case they have a sentry.
He was afraid, yeah, exactly. He was afraid that they might have a sentry. They didn't. And there are necro trees on the Lycan, so they should use them to devoid as You can see they're doing exactly that. They move them towards the pit, but they're just afraid. They see the bat.
Game shift. Basement, Cuckoo, force uses Shrine, taking so much damn damage here. Will drums and just get out quickly. Gabby arrives as well. Missed chance out, so they can't go onto him. And now they'll just get the creeps out. May leave one behind. Poor Timmy, the Necro creep, goes down. Tornado through. Miracle. Meatball drop. Cuckoo dead. Ice Blast does nothing.
That's also the small buff that happened recently to Chaos Meteor. It hits for more damage early on, and that Bat Rider just didn't even have a chance. He instantly dies there. The Agonist is completed, moving towards Travels, and that Blink Dagger on Invoker having a pretty good game as they're both on top of the network charts. The Lycan and the Invoker.
Kuro. He forgot that he's not on Radiant side.
Yeah, try to squeeze in, maybe board it up. As you can see, he planted that sentry too there, but it just didn't work.
Tornado as well. Sunstride's coming through, and should be going down here. GH gets a kill spike. Carapace to cover his escape. But look at this. Miracle in trouble. Is Invision able to move away? Gabby turns his attention towards Matthew instead. Goes for him, and now on the side, the sentries are in deep down. And with that, 2 big kills found by TNC. They might find more. They dust up, but no mana's left on RML, so you can't pursue this.
Exactly, but they can't turn this into the tier 1 push on the middle lane if they wanted to. Sand King is porting in, however. And there's Nyx too.
Yeah, they're just gonna calm down and back up here. Especially with that annoying Necro creep just poking and prodding at Gabby. Mind Control just show himself top, but RML has a little bit left in the mana pool, enough to TP away. It's not like Omni Knight offers any sort of control.
When they got a couple of kills on the creeps, that is, not on the Omni Knight obviously, and just ported out.
You have to build up to that, you know. This essentially, it's got RPG elements to a MOBA, and then one of them is leveling up. He starts on creeps and eventually he can reach heroes in like 30, 40 minutes maybe.
Or if you pay $5, you can do it instantly. That's how it works, right?
No, it just makes it look like that's how it works. That's what the Arcana done to us for Earthshaker. Made us believe in something that wasn't true.
Some big items are coming up for TNC. I believe the biggest one is Gabi's BKB mid lane.
Very cool. In trouble. Ice Blast is on him. The Fade Bolt's going to get him low enough. They try and go invis. The dust reveals they're not taking any chances here. The big bad wolf. Epicenter trying to come in on the back line. The backstab's there. EU gets low, but he's still alive. Kuroki will get him with the sandstorm on the side. RML ran through and killed off. This is the problem with Storm at this stage. You invest so much mana in the initiation, you don't have enough to get out afterwards.
It's also the fact that they didn't use the dust instantly to kill off Invoker, which forced him to go a little bit deeper. It's all these small teams. And because of that dust not being used instantly, Invoker buys himself a couple of extra seconds, which allows the bolt to come in time.
Someone's going to get clipped. This time, this game, it works. Actually dragged him down to Gabby. He says, oh, you want this kill, you can get it. Guardian Angel comes out, but the Firefly's already down. He should die. Tim's, in the meantime, trying to move away. And Kuroki will pursue. Necro Creep should get it, but no. Stuns up the creeps. They're still going to get it. The arrow flies out. Guro trying to hide the tree line. Ice Blast through, though. He's got a Barrow Strike across. He did get clipped by it, and Gabby ends up getting given the kill.
Yeah, Gabby gets that kill on the Omni Knight and now on the Sand King, too. Well, helps out with the Omni Knight. And this AA is doing so much already for the side of TNC. He's been involved in many of these fights. If not with his normal spells, with his ultimate for sure.
A hero that many people just think is an item, right? Usually you go, oh, Ice Blast? I could just build a Spirit Vessel, but...
Bottom lane?
He's argued he has value.
Meteor Hammer? Sounds right.
Meteor Hammer's probably time RML's gone. That mana burn damage along with the Sunstrike just assuring his fate. EH. Feeling pretty good right now. Looks like he is going towards that Yule Scepter next.
They're basically, if you are TNC right now, you have to wait for one item, and that's BKB. You have to wait for it on both of these cores. Gabi has finished this, so he has a 10-second BKB, but Storm hasn't done the same. And you can't fight before that happens. As
I mean, he doesn't even want to do it. He doesn't want to, like, he's going to have to go for this BKB, but you don't feel good about having to go for this.
Of course. It's not an item that you want to store.
That's it. An example of a scenario where having a BKB wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah, because he's so deep, he just falls anyway.
And they have Magic Pierce as well.
Everyone on the other of his teammates is on the other side of the map, and he's farming the enemy jungle. You're going to be punished for that, sir.
The big worry as well is, even when RML has this BKB, you can already see a lot of sentries down from TNC. But GH, with a Meteor Hammer now as well, can kill you before you can actually even try and escape. Not if he dies like this, though. They had the sentries down, we mentioned it, and now they'll get use out of them. Spike Carapace already used, GH, a bit clueless, doesn't sure what he can do to get out of that one alive.
So, yes, you will be picked off by Nyx here and there, right? It might happen. But at the same time, this BKB allows you to be on the offensive. It allows you to control the pace of the game. It allows you to make stuff happen. If you don't have a BKB and you go and try to kill the Invoker, if you get clipped by one single stun, there's going to be a follow-up and you will die. So it's definitely a must-have item in this current game.
Hero continuing to farm up, heading towards the Veil next. And Mind Control is no longer a +5. I mean, his items are still in that realm of category, but he has 6.5k net worth. He's starting to recover.
Yeah, he has a bit more. He's moving towards his 4-staff, it seems.
Bit of repositional tools, and he's actually catching up to Cuckoo, who's only sitting on 7.2k gold now. Let's scout out the pit. They'll realize no one's in it just yet. There is a chance that TNC just walk in there, though. Gabby is strong enough to do this.
No, Troll looks to be doing exactly that on his own. Has that SNY. He could take down this rush on his own, but Storm's going to help out. And Storm is one of the best carriers for Aegis. You can give it to him right now.
And bait coming out that TP bot because they want Liquid to commit to this tower.
They scout them with the Sunstrike. They know exactly where they are, but can they get there on time? There's the Tornado.
Slows them down a little bit, but now they'll jump in. The pings come out. Latsu on to Invoker. Miracle dead. He went alone. The rest of his team are coming across. Spike Carapace from GH. The stolen Tornado used against them. Gotta be ready when he comes down. GH is dead. Fire strike through by Kuroki. This is a Congo line of death by Liquid, but it's all buying time so that they can get Matu up onto the high ground of TNC's base in the bot lane. Kuro still alive. PK from Gabby. He barely survived that. They haven't even finished the Roche. Mind Control chasing in. Can't find anyone. They didn't get a kill on Kuro either, and Cuckoo, if he's not careful, will fall. 4-star forward. Oh, blink away just in time. Matu backed off. Shapeshift use. He says, wait, we can go into the pit now. Bye back. Kill. They find on AU.
They find the AU.
That was a bold TP.
He buybacks. He's probably going to use his ulti into the pit instantly, but that Roshan is going to fall so fast, it doesn't matter. So, Liquid, yeah, they do sacrifice a couple of heroes and the buyback on GH.
It looked like a series of mistakes, right?
It did, but in the end, what they get out of it is like a decent, solid fight, and they also take down that Rosh, and they got the Aegis on Matumba, man.
Yeah, people gave their life for that, because there's no way, if you're TNC, you look at that, you see Miracle die first, you go,
yeah, we got this. They're done. We're going to take this Aegis and at least, but
apparently calmly, Kuro goes, no, guys, let's go into the pit, one by one, let's go.
I'll take your tribute.
Yeah, somehow Liquid have done it. They just delayed them so well.
They even got half the tower bot.
Yeah, that was only stopped because Rubik forted, right?
And that's when they went back. They went, wait, if Rubik's not there, then they're weaker. We can outnumber them. The play we do see so often, it's just usually what preludes that play isn't typically two people Congo lining into a pit of versus 5. If it works, kids. Cuckoo. He has now
travels,
travel, yeah. He needed these maybe a little bit sooner, but now you can start to flex around the map and respond to mirror any movements that get
There's a lot of global presence from them now with those travels. You have the AA as well, and then Storm can zip across the map to help you out. But it's such a difficult game for Storm. If he gets caught by the Nyx, he just certainly dies after.
Oh, Tim's. 4-star doesn't end up on the high ground though. He throws out a tornado before he dies. Says the rest of the team just get the hell out. Spike Carapace slows down Cuckoo, but he's already in the tree line. Matu goes up to the high ground. He says, I'm here to finish what I started just a short time ago. Needs creeps first, though.
Yeah, sadly for him, he already wasted his form to take down that Rubik, so he doesn't really have his biggest power spike. Instead goes back, even though he has that Aegis. They can't really turn it into anything. But they're not really rushing, because they have this Invoker with the Midas, with Aghanim's, with the Blink Dagger now, moving towards what seems to be Lincoln's.
And on the other side, Gabby is heading towards that Satanic. If he had an Omni Knight on his side, he wouldn't feel this pressure to get that status resistance online. And that's kind of the comparison here is, while it's going to be hard to lock down the Troll, the same will be said of either the Invoker or the Lycan.
Yeah, the Lycan benefits so much from it as his strength, right? And then you get that bonus damage, you get a lot of it. You get a lot out of that Heavenly's Grace. How much do you get? Bonus strength?
28.
28 bonus strength. Pretty good.
A hefty number. Do you feel like level 20 talent choices only needs a rework? Pause that thought. They actually see you here. And then Tornado comes out. Miracle with a blink initiation. Sunstrike able to see you down. We really size blood flat. Miracle getting pretty low here, trying to move away. Maybe too late though. They see him, they kill him off. Now Guardian Angel used. They need to try and turn around and find some response. And Armel just TP away. Oh my god, the damage! They almost bring him down. Just about gets out now. Gabby, he might be left behind here. The Willing Axes are protecting. Nice. Stole a Bar Strike on the fall from Tim's. The turnaround. Cuckoo burns them all. Like the heretical witches they are. The media hammer from GH, beautifully done. Spike Carapace buys some time because Armel has returned. Nyx will go down. Cuckoo pursuing forward on number Stumberman next to Bull. He will go down to this. But no, the purification out. Mind control. Snatches a kill on Cuckoo. And Matu is still alive here. He has the Aegis to work with. They're reluctant to commit too heavily.
Yeah, they don't know where he is. They're chasing in a different direction.
They get mind control.
Yeah, Gabi finishes him off, but
if Matu gets out, you're still going to have that Aegis for a decent window, so you can look to set up once you're all... Oh, Tim's!
Almost. So close.
So close.
In the end, they can't take down this tier 2 on the top lane, as no one is ready available to defend it. Matumberman is using that shrine, and they're losing fights even with that Aegis, which is uncharacteristic for Liquid. But in that first series too, the first game was a stomp by them, and the second game they got stomped. This time around, it's a very even game though.
Yeah, the thing is, Liquid's draft, the way they play this, is kind of like pile one, right? We can see how that backfires against them, although if they pile on the Tims, they might find him trying to bar strike down the low ground to escape. He's going to fall. And Cuckoo, he just revealed himself because he was going super aggressive towards Miracle. He'll get away. Tornado won't connect. But this is the thing, right? Like when you play the choke points, both teams have huge benefits. Liquid have this kind of clustered aspect to the lineup. TNC had the missed chance, they had the Firefly,
yeah,
and as we saw, the stolen Burrow Strike was the real big highlight of that last fight near the left shrine. Hitting 4 people. Tim's definitely trying to prove himself the MVP. With Liquid still having that Aegis, they are still in control.
Yeah, but not for long. That Aegis should be reclaimed very soon. Yeah, it is. It is right now, exactly.
But because of that, TNC, they were reluctant to commit heavily into any other objectives because they realized they took a good fight. They couldn't actually pop that Aegis.
We'll see a smoke by Liquid after these dragons have been killed, I'm pretty certain. See? Nope. They opt not to.
TNC might think about doing something similar because Cuckoo and AU are together.
Cuckoo needs, well, yeah, Gabi needs 1000 gold for his Satanic completed, so perhaps they want to wait for that. After the bounty runes, he should have them.
They're not going to get another rune though. They think the Liquid are up there, but actually Liquid were busy just snatching up both the bot runes.
Just staying around here and keeping this area is strategically very important for TNC, so I don't blame them for not going to scout that other bounty rune. They should do it together. Satanic has been completed on Troll.
Here it comes. Smoke movement.
Yeah, exactly. Instantly after it's completed, they just realize that this is their big power spike, and they want to utilize it properly.
Liquid are waiting on their own high ground.
Yeah, they smoked up. The Nyx and the Sand King have smoked up right now. But you can see that they're just setting up the perimeter. They're even pinging it all out. They're expecting them to come from some areas, and that's why they're positioning the Sand King and the Nyx the way they are. Just to break the smoke and then link out if they come.
And in that moment, Miracle will just return to the bot lane and shove that in. He has got some reinforcements coming in as well. The lines have already been drawn. They know their primary jungler is off limits, so they just want to try and force TNC back to defend their base again. Something that Miracle can do very easily with just a meatball and a tornado.
Yeah, what TNC might do on this top lane, however, is just mirror the movements and force them to defend this tier 2 or the high ground.
And the advantage they have is because Cuckoo picked up those boots of travel, he can afford to just go back and forth.
Walker is porting bottom. This Batrider needs to be very careful.
Yeah, he's reluctant. They actually forced the TP out of the Troll as well. Matu is on standby, ready to push in with an Economicon creeps activated.
Yeah, Storm outpush top, and there's a catapult too. Someone is going to have to go back and defend this tower. Someone from Liquid, that is.
It's important about how Liquid breaks off in this moment, because if they just send someone back to TP, you could cause yourself trouble. There you go. Sunstrike play, make sure the catapult is gone. They're going to linger around here, and you can already see TNC slowly crawling out of their base. Cutting all the trees down. Gabby not the best starting target considering he has that stats resistance build up and online.
You could smoke up here, but it's so difficult for you to do that. Instead of waiting for them on the high ground or conquering some other high ground, you could go for this side of the map where the Dire is right now, where Liquid is, but it's suboptimal. I believe what TNC are doing right now is much better for them.
Yeah, because you don't know how long Roche has got, because it could have just spawned right there.
Exactly. Roche can spawn, so overall this area that you're holding holds higher importance. And also you don't want to be running into their wards if you can force them to run into yours. Fight where you have vision. That's like the simplest thing in Dota.
Of course, it's going to be a 2-minute wait time on the Roche, 1.5 minutes left. So Liquid, they could hang around here if they want to, but they don't know what is going on necessarily. They don't know how long it is until that Roche is up, so they want to strike first before it becomes a variable. Gabby, going to get down. Nice stun. Media hand follow up. They're TPing away as well. Gabby's going to be left here alone. They're trying to go back to deal with the Lycan. Matto BKB and run away, and now all of a sudden Gabby is alone. He has a BKB, has got a TP. He'll have to do it. Lip will come out. Not sure if it's needed because he was always going to get out. Now Tim's, can he? Trying to move away with the Blink 4 stuff. Sidesteps the right way, and Liquid can't find anyone.
Roche should be up in 50 seconds. After that happens, it's very important that you have these wards around the pit so that you can take a favorable fight. Yeah, there's a BKB on Invoker as well that we haven't mentioned. A big power spike for him. You can see so many heroes are queuing up that BKB. It's such a high value item in this game.
Of course, the advantage goes to TNC in that department, considering they have the means to lock someone down through the BKB with a lasso. Something that Liquid are lacking in. And, well, they are going for a basher next on Matsu. So maybe you eventually get in a bit when you have a means to stop those BKB TPs away. Moving in, Media Hammer gets dodged out with the 4-staff. They're trying to get rid of this shrine in prep for the Roche, but Cuckoo's not going to allow that to happen. Lasso. Interrupted by this time with the Barrow striking now. Bat Rider held in place. It's going to be activated. The AO is not very good, and Matsu goes straight into the pit, knowing that they don't have the Ice Blast any longer. The pressure is now on TNC to make the play. But this Roche is dying so quickly.
Yeah, but they have stores. He can zip in.
Troll gets stunned up though, trying to move it in time. BKB activated from Armel, going on the back line, trying to backstab and look for a kill to Kroki. It's so damn tanky for a pass 5. Matu zoning them away. Gabby in the pit. Snatches the Aegis though. Matu gets it. Gabby did get the kill, but he didn't get the second life. But now, going to activate. Charge of 4. Look at the kill. Miracle get it. The cheese is still on the ground. Guardian Angel to protect. Matu out of mana though. Soon to be out alive. Gets backed up. They finally picked up the cheese. It is on the Troll. We'll expend one life on this Lycan and soon a second. Because no one is coming to help.
You have that Aegis, but you're not going to live for much longer.
Trying to buy some time with the Burrow strike. Lycan could finally maybe attack back, but it's too late. He's dead. Kuro won't even get out of this alive.
Yeah, they played that so well. Even though they whiffed a couple of spells early on, they're not done.
Yeah, they thought about. They didn't realize mind control was there. They might have actually got a team wipe on the Liquid if that.
What's happening with Liquid in these second games, man? Like this is the second best of 2 in second 2-game series that they just dominate in the first game. They just crush the opponents, and then they just, I don't know, they do some rash movements and they lose. And the way Miracle died here, it's very reminiscent of that anti-mage game, right? In which he was always feeding with.
Yes, and GH, he just tries as a fan, but he can't do anything. And this is looking grim. It just, you know, we hear about teams who warm-up game, right? But they're winning the first ones and then
losing the seconds. It's not very common. However, Invoker is up in 3 seconds. It's not all over yet. Let's not just sign them off.
Count them out, but it is looking pretty bad.
It's looking pretty bad, specifically because BKBs are coming off cooldown for TNC. And they don't have to be super worried that they're going to be ganked or attacked by Liquid.
It's not like they're on the clock. Exactly. Their lineup scales fantastic.
And Lycan just bought back. And definitely what you just said, Storm and Troll, they scale a little bit better than Invoker and Lycan.
Hero, Barcrack away. Alonso revealing himself. Armel low on mana though. Ice Blast going to fly out. They use the shapeshift. They're getting ready to backstab, but Matsu doesn't see any easy way in here.
Gabi just standing his ground and scaling down those Draxes. Yeah, you can't do anything about it. He takes 2 sides now. Yeah, the range Drax is alive, but it doesn't truly matter. And they fall back into the dire jungle.
Good thing they've still got a tier 1 standing bot on the side of Liquid, because they...
And not for long, not for long, because after this shrine is done, they're instantly going to go towards that bottom lane and take down the remaining towers, I'm certain.
But it's kind of funny to see a tier 1 still up 37 minutes in. But this is kind of to show the way Liquid has played a lot of this game. We've seen how much they prioritize the bot area of the map, and in the last 5-6 minutes, they haven't even been there.
It's just TNC also playing the game around this rush pit because they realize how important it is for them, specifically when you're playing with the Storm Spirit. It's just so good. Gabi has that double damage bottled up, so this next fight might be very, very easy for them. And the way that Miracle died in the rush pit, once Troll got a hold of him, like he disappeared in a matter of split seconds.
You saw Kuroki desperately try to assist, but even if you stop the stun lock, like, what does Matu do? Look at this build. It's not a brawling build. He's trying to get this basher, but after that buyback, he's nowhere near it.
Yeah, this is definitely a problem. Has an AC and Necros. Like, he does some damage in these fights, but most importantly what he does is he creates a lot of chaos so that Miracle can do the majority of the work, of the heavy lifting when it comes to damage department at least. But right now Miracle isn't really able to do that, as they take him down very easily. They jump him either with the Storm Spirit or the Bat, or just Troll finds him somehow.
It feels like Liquid have kind of put themselves into a 1 damage lineup, right? Like, you know, the Lycan does some, but he's here for kind of like the utility and the control, you know, the zoning the back line. Omni Knight is full support build.
Yeah.
So Miracle basically has to burden this on his own.
Oh, mid lane.
We'll get away, but for how long they're chasing through? Armel sees him, barely has any mana though, so he needs to back up. In fact, he's out of mana. He'll force staff him away, but Lightning doesn't get him to the high ground. Forces the BKB. Barrack Strike was stolen.
The Volt form is used.
R2 wants to go in here. The BKB's running out soon. Missed time with the Impale. We got to get a kill to AU at least. They'll keep pursuing, looking for more. TNC crumbling a little bit here, but not enough as Armel making up to the high ground. TP away. Cold Snap comes out to Cuckoo. He's all but dead. He'll throw out the Lassie to buy a little bit more time and ensure the rest of his team escapes as Tims does TP back to bed.
They definitely get a couple of good kills there, the AA and the Batrider, and they also force them back, but I mean, most importantly, they forced them back because Storm had no mana there as he was trying to jump on that Sand King. So it was a little bit of a mistake from TNC trying to go for the Sand King, using that AA's ulti not in a proper way as it didn't connect onto anyone. And then they were just forced to run away. But mid lane, Nyx just dies.
Just
dies.
Things.
Just dies, just happens. Storm Spirit jumps you. I guess I'll die. That's pretty much what happened to him.
Something similar might happen to another support in a second. He doesn't know this, but he's in vision. I think he just about walked. No, he just about dodged the vision. Hero's playing a very dangerous game in this bot lane. He doesn't even realize it.
There's another double damage rune on the bottom lane, and Troll is going to be very happy to go and pick that up.
Yeah, up to level 25 now. Whirling Axe is basically more or less always there. I mean, actually it is. Yeah, it's 100% uptime now. Which means when your BKBs are getting shorter at this stage in the game, your window of opportunity to even have the physical damage to assist you in taking down Gabi is fleeting.
He's going towards that Blink Dagger as well. And with the Abyssal and the Blink Dagger, it makes it so much rougher for Miracle to find the proper position to be in these fights. As there's now 3 heroes that can jump on top of him. There's the Troll with the Blink, there's the Storm, there's the Bat. Well, the Blink isn't there yet, but he's eyeing it.
Yeah,
thinking about it.
And I love the Blink pickups on heroes like Troll, Terror Blade. It's just amazing what you can do. If
a very ballsy pickup as well, you know?
Yeah.
Just jump straight into the fray.
It was thought of as like the classical MB for a bit, right? He was the guy that we saw in the early days doing it with his carries.
Look at the smoke action for the range racks.
They are wrapping around.
Maybe they would find a kill instead.
Yeah, they don't want the range racks. Yeah? They want Matu. Because the game is over. Latsu comes in right now. GA to protect his life, but the magical damage is overwhelming him. And it'll bring him down. He's dead.
No buyback.
He's activated, going to pursue for more. That was the big kill they needed, and now it's a matter of cleaning up Liquid. Armel just jigging around. Kuroki getting low on HP. Tims didn't even die for this. The meatball gets dropped down. Miracle with the BKB activated. Chop through. Will get the kill on the roof and force the buyback. Sand King brought back as well, but now Miracle needs to move away. The Battle Trance is activated. Nice Power Strike out. Hero though, he just walked back into this and he's going to go back to the grave.
No buyback.
Just to keep Miracle alive, but now what can Miracle do alone?
Top barracks are under attack.
Write a haiku, write a poem. I don't know, try and seduce TNC because fighting them is not the solution here.
Oh, they have no creeps, but they are arriving from that mid lane. And now after taking the Ranger Drags on
They're
top,
just gonna finish
no,
the game.
they're just going for throne. Yeah, indeed.
I mean, why wouldn't you? There's 2v5. No way to get more favorable numbers for the side of Liquid. GH is up in 20 seconds, could buy you a little bit of time. Lasso comes in though, and Omnia's gonna be dragged towards his death. Feel like a support, die like 1-2, buys back.
He does have the buyback, but
What does it do?
yeah, exactly.
Here comes, Chaos Media down, BKB from Armaldo, their vessel out. They'll just run Miracle through and kill him off as it looks like TNC have
Buyback.
taken this second game. Mind Control runs to the south, but it doesn't make any difference. The GG is called.
Liquid, once again, they just dominate in that first game, and then in the second one, maybe they feel a little bit overconfident. Their draft is a little bit up there, not really something that they usually would pick, right? In the draft of the first game looked much more solid, looked like they were really try-harding. They even last pick, well, was it the last pick, bro? Yeah, it was.